Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're jumping straight into the world's fifth largest religion, Sikhism. If you've ever wondered how deeply held inner beliefs can literally transform the outer world, well, you're in the right place. We're going to explore how a faith founded centuries ago essentially created a blueprint for absolute equality, and how that sparks massive, community-driven action that is still changing lives today. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the explainer. We'll start with core beliefs and true equality, meet the founding gurus, and explore the ultimate authority. Then, we'll get into the commitment to the Khalsa, their unique worship and community kitchen, and finally, Seva, selfless service action. It's going to be an amazing thematic journey, taking us from 15th century theology straight through to modern-day disaster reliefs.
Section 1, Core Beliefs and True Equality. Everything in Sikhism basically starts with a profoundly radical idea for its time, the concept of absolute equality.
You see, the opening statement of the Sikh holy text, the Mual Mantar, introduces a concept called Ik Onkar, which translates to one God. But actually, this isn't just your standard monotheism. The Mual Mantar teaches that this eternal creator is beyond birth, beyond death, and totally without fear or hatred. And because God is one, and exactly the same for all people, it inherently means that every single human being is equal. No matter your religion, your gender, or your social status, you are literally on the same level playing field. And this is absolutely crucial, because a Sikh's ultimate goal in life is mukti, liberation from the cycle of rebirth, so they can become completely united with this one God, through honest living.
And this brilliantly illustrates the two totally different paths a person can walk in their daily life. First, you've got the Gurmukh. This is the God-centered person, someone who prioritizes selfless service and genuinely treats everyone as equals. On the flip side, we have the Manmukh, the self-centered person who just chases greedy desires and kind of ignores the needs of everyone else. Sikhism constantly challenges its followers to move away from being a Manmukh and strive every single day to be a Gurmukh.
Section 2, the founding gurus. Now, let's shift our focus to the actual historical figures who championed these beliefs and built the faith from the ground up.
Here's a super quick historical roadmap for you. Our timeline kicks off in 1469 with the birth of the first guru, Guru Nanak. Then we jump forward to 1604 when the sacred text was compiled, followed by the dramatic founding of the Khalsa in 1699. Finally, 1708 is when the line of human gurus ends and the text itself becomes the eternal guru.
Let's start right at the beginning, in 1469. Guru Nanak wasn't just a spiritual leader later in life, he was kind of a rebel right from childhood. As a boy, he completely rejected the Hindu ritual of wearing the sacred thread, known as the Janu. It's a universally relatable moment, right? A young person questioning the strict societal norms they were just handed. He flat out refused to accept empty rituals or social divisions like the caste system, arguing even back then that true spirituality comes from inner purity, not outward labels. But the real turning point? That happened when Guru Nanak was around 30. He actually vanished while bathing in a river. For 3 entire days, he was just completely missing. When he finally emerged, he had experienced this profound spiritual revelation. His very first words were staggering. He simply said, "There is no Hindu, there is no Muslim." Think about how massive that was. He was essentially declaring that human-made religious labels were totally meaningless to God. From that exact moment, the idea spread like wildfire as he embarked on massive teaching journeys across India, the Middle East, and South Asia to spread this radical message.
Section 3, the living ultimate authority. So with a community built on these teachings, how is this wisdom actually preserved today?
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the Sikh sacred text, the Guru Granth Sahib, is treated. It's not just a book, it's revered as a living entity. Originally compiled back in 1604, it beautifully reflects that commitment to equality by actually including hymns not just from Sikh gurus, but from Hindu and Muslim saints too. Because it's treated as living wisdom, it's placed on a raised platform called a takht, housed under a beautiful canopy and covered with respectful cloths. In 1708, it was declared the final eternal guru, guiding the community's daily life forever.
Section 4, Commitment to the Khalsa. This brings us to our next major milestone, one born out of a really dark age in history. Okay, the year is 1699. It's a time known as the Kali Yuga, or the Dark Age, a period full of moral decline and intense injustice. To defend righteousness, the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh, did something truly mind-blowing at the Vaisakhi festival. It's known as the story of the tent.
He stood before this massive crowd and basically asked for volunteers willing to give their actual lives right then and there for their faith. One by one, 5 men stepped forward. The Guru took them into a tent. Each time he emerged with a bloody sword, looking like he had killed them. The crowd was absolutely terrified. But eventually, plot twist, the Guru brought all 5 men out completely alive. They had proven their ultimate faith. These men, who came from entirely different castes, became the Panj Pyare, the 5 beloved ones, the very first members of the Khalsa.
To physically show their unwavering commitment, members of the Khalsa wear the 5 Ks. We're talking Kesh, which is uncut hair to show respect for creation, Kara, a steel bracelet to remind them of God, Kripan, a sword to protect the weak, Kanga, a wooden comb for cleanliness, and Kachera, specific shorts symbolizing self-discipline. These aren't just accessories, guys. They are essentially the uniform of the saint soldiers, making them spiritually pure and physically ready to fight injustice.
So, how do you join the Khalsa today? It happens through a fascinating initiation ceremony called the Amrit Sanskar. First, 5 initiated Sikhs conduct the ceremony, representing those original Panj Pyare. Next, sweetened water called Amrit is prepared and literally stirred with a sword while prayers are chanted. Then, the initiates drink the Amrit and have it sprinkled on their hair and eyes. Finally, they promise to follow the Sikh code. And here's the best part. Men take the name Singh, meaning lion, and women take Kaur, meaning princess. It completely erases old caste surnames to create one equal family. So the crucial point is that this initiation comes with some serious, lifelong boundaries. Khalsa Sikhs commit to strict dues, praying, living honestly, doing seva. But they also commit to strict don'ts. No cutting their hair, absolutely no intoxicants like drugs or alcohol, no halal or kosher meat, and no adultery. It's a path of intense discipline for sure.
Section 5. Worship and Community Kitchen. Now, Sikhism isn't just about individual discipline. Let's see how they gather and worship together.
The Sikh place of worship is called the Gurdwara. Even before you walk inside, you'll see a flagpole called the Nishan Sahib. It's basically a giant beacon signaling that absolutely everyone is welcome. And once you're inside, the architecture itself physically forces you to practice equality. There are no VIP sections. Everyone, regardless of wealth or status, sits together right on the floor. It levels the playing field completely. And that amazing ethos extends right into the dining hall, known as the langar. The langar is a free, simple vegetarian meal served to everyone. It's vegetarian specifically so anyone from any background can eat it without an issue. Imagine sharing a meal, sitting shoulder to shoulder on the floor with people of totally different religions and social statuses. In a society historically divided by castes, eating the exact same food together is the ultimate rejection of inequality. To put that into perspective, the Golden Temple in India serves upwards of 100,000 of these free hot meals every single day.
Section 6. Seva, selfless service action. Let's connect all these concepts into their real-world manifestation.
Let's move to Seva and see how this builds into actionable service. Seva means serving others without expecting absolutely any reward. 0. It breaks down into 3 types. Tan, which is physical effort, like cooking in that langar. Dan, which is financial or material donation. And Man, which is mental or spiritual service, like dedicating your thoughts to praying for others. It's a complete, holistic framework for helping the world.
And this isn't just ancient 15th century theology. It's modern, life-saving action. Following the devastating 2018 tsunami in Indonesia, the Sikh charity Khalsa Aid deployed straight into the disaster zone. They delivered food, water, and essential supplies, completely blind to the religion or background of the victims. It's literally Guru Nanak's teaching that all humans are equal before one God, playing out in the real world today.
We've traced such an incredible journey today, from inner belief all the way to outer action. Sikhism shows us that true spiritual philosophy has to benefit humanity. So knowing this framework of serving without expecting a reward, I have to ask you, how will you practice seva in your own community today? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.